The High School Sports Beat is brought to you by Alfred State College, where within 6 months of graduating, an astonishing 99% are working or furthering their studies. At Alfred State, they stress project-based learning, where students work on real-world problems and learn how to think, not what to think. Visit alfredstate.edu.
Sports. It's who we are. It's what we do. It's how we roll. It's wins and losses, highs and lows. It's effort, respect, and dedication. The High School Sports Beat. Sports. It's who we are.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us on the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College. Sitting in for Dave Yates, I'm Kyle O'Gara. We begin our look at Section 5 sports this week with our opening story, brought to you by Sticky Lips Barbecue and Juke Joint.
Sticky Lips Barbecue Juke Joint, New York State's largest barbecue restaurant right here in Rochester. See our menu and live music calendar at StickyLipsBBQ.com. Sticky Lips BBQ, Jefferson Road in Henrietta.
We begin this week with a big baseball matchup at FLCC. It's the 10th annual Strikeout Cancer Game between Penfield and Fairport. Both communities came out to support a great cause and in return got to witness a great pitcher's duel. Here's Paul Gotham.
Good evening ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2019 Strikeout Cancer Game between Penfield Patriots and the Fairport Red Raiders.
Fairport and Penfield hosted the 2019 Strikeout Cancer Game at Finger Lakes Community College.
We're very proud to donate $3,300 from proceeds from our event in the fight against cancer.
The Red Raiders and Patriots, rivals on the diamond, the two communities came together for one night for one cause.
I think that's the big part, is two communities coming together, a cause it's a great cause. It's something that affected me personally. My father died 3 years ago from cancer, for lung cancer. So for this to bring two communities together in a common battle, I think that's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, it's a big divisional game, obviously, and then Coaches versus Cancer, it's a great cause. Everybody's kind of comes together, works harder in practice. Look forward to the game.
It was a night to remember friends and loved ones who have lost their battle to cancer.
I looked out to see my mother, and my mother was out there with my daughter, my sister, and her boyfriend, and they were holding up cards, and I just looked out and made eye contact, and we knew what it meant.
It's really emotional. I lost my grandma last year for that, so it hit me a little harder, but yeah, it's a great atmosphere. It's good that we could all come together, two different teams, two rivals, and put out this game tonight.
Well, it was something else. My grandpa recently died, so he was affected by cancer, so that was something special to me. So my parents were standing up.
Yeah, it puts a lot of things in perspective, especially during the baseball season, baseball game, things get very emotional, and we have a lot invested in this, but sometimes you forget that it is just a game that we're playing, and so to have a moment like that and to get the boys to realize that there are a lot of things more important than sports, and to just enjoy the fact that they're young and healthy and able to play this game, I think that's an important lesson for them.
On the field, Josh Von Bramer and Gage Zeal locked horns in a pitcher's duel. Von Bramer worked out of a jam in a second inning. After walking the first two batters, his infield turned a double play. Zeal, a sophomore, retired the first six batters he faced. Then ran into trouble in the third. He escaped it with a strikeout and an easy ground ball to end the inning. delivered the game-winning RBI in the 6th inning.
I didn't think I was going to be swinging first pitch on a curveball, but that's what ended up happening, and I just poked it into the hole and found a way to get us a run.
Von Bramer took a no-hitter into the 7th inning. The Alfred State commit struck out 12 and won the game.
Holmes calls a great game, and in the beginning we were just working them fastball to off speed, and then later in the game we started mixing in the slider and we started pitching them backwards, and that's what worked.
I didn't even know it was a no-hitter, honestly. I had no clue.
Really?
Yeah, really.
So
out there, he was like, we were one hit away from the one-hitter, and no-hitter, and I was like, what?
Really?
Yeah, I was
so
surprised.
you're just putting down signs, and you're not even thinking about. I was just
grinding. We were working. Josh was hitting the spots so well.
He had a little extra on the fastball today, but he was locating. He was spotting every pitch he was throwing. He was able to throw him for strikes whenever he needed to, and that made him effective.
His curveball and his slider, the mix and the different angles at which they break, I think they were messing the hitters up a lot because we were getting a lot of swing and misses on those.
Zeal, a University of Miami commit, fanned 15 batters on the night. And in the 7th inning with a runner on and one out, Zeal stepped to the plate.
I would be a part of games like this on either end any day of the week. This was one of the best high school baseball games I've ever been a part of. An absolutely phenomenal pitcher's duel. I was so proud of our guy. I thought Gage was just great. But that young man that threw for Fairport, he was just lights out today. So there's nothing you can do but tip your cap to him. I told our guys, hold your head up high. You have nothing to be ashamed of. That was a fantastic game. They just did a little bit more than us today. But being in games like that, that's what you need to get ready to go through the gauntlet that is Section V baseball.
For the seniors on both teams, the 10th annual event marks a milestone. You're a senior. What's it like to be a part of this game?
This game is, past 3 years, it's been the best game of the year. Other than sectionals, regular season, it's easily the best game. Best atmosphere. Even in our way, we got a ton of fans.
Right.
Most fans we've had all year.
I need a picture with them.
From the Strikeout Cancer Game, this is Paul Gotham with the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College. Walking into the...
I should have seen it. I forgot. I saw it open. I forgot that you guys were doing it.
This is the best pitcher in Section 5 right.
Coming up next, Paul Gotham returns for the Duncan High School Notebook with guest Matt Trabold. We got that and more when the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College, continues.
Treat yourself to Dunkin's new Blueberry Crisp, Coca Mocha, and Caramel Craze signature lattes. America runs on Dunkin'.
Hello and welcome back to the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College. This is the High School Notebook, brought to you by Dunkin'. America runs on Dunkin'. And this morning we welcome the man, the myth, the legend. He's known as Trabs, but he's Matt Trabold. Wham 13's old Matt Trabold. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on.
We look forward to talking to some lacrosse with you.
Sounds good to me.
Matt, sectional semifinals are upon us. A lot of great storylines this year for girls, the girls' side of lacrosse. What are some of those storylines that you have keyed in on?
Well, one of the top storylines for me is the golden era of Rush-Henrietta girls lacrosse. With that sport in this section, you don't really think of Rush-Henrietta, Before 2018, it was a very long time, 11 years since they were even in a sectional final. And this time around, I mean, last year they made the sectional final, and this year 14-2 with huge wins over other giants, I mean, defending sectional champs. They beat Brighton, they beat Penfield, they beat Spencerport, Canandaigua, and this resurrection for them is really coming with a Fab Five, is what they call it, of commits D1, that caliber, and it's 5 upperclassmen that have been really pushing this thing along. And you look at Syracuse commit Kate Mashesky, you look at Towson commit Gabby Garrett, and another one on the defensive side, which doesn't always get a lot of love in lacrosse, don't score goals as much, Grace Nothnagel, who's going to Albany. And even throwing in one of their star sophomores, Madalena Schmitz, in the open field in the games I've seen this season, not sure there's a quicker player, as much wheels in that facet of the game as Madalena Schmitz. And it's just so impressive to see this because, like I was saying a second ago, you're just not used to hearing Rush-Henrietta girls lacrosse kind of hand in hand.
Sure, Rush-Henrietta, we always associate them with track. We associate them with great boys basketball, girls basketball. D1 commits, though, we've had plenty of them here in Section 5. It's good to see Rush-Henrietta getting those D1 commits. What do we have from the boys' side going into these semifinals?
So the thing I look at the most, and there's plenty of good storylines, it has to be Brighton. Brighton's kind of like Rush-Henrietta. You're not really synonymous. You're thinking of them in this sport. They've had scrappy games over the years against really big name teams. They've had D1 commits like you were talking about a second ago, but this is different. Right now, this season, they have a Donald Benedict coach at the helm. He's a first-year head coach, and they're having their best year, at least in my recent memory. You have first-year head coach. You have a 2018 All-American in Brady McDermott. He's at Yale now. What's going to happen? His little brother, Casey McDermott, that was the one guy you knew was going to be a big player for them this season. Johns Hopkins commit. But the question, who is going to be around him? And the guy that stepped up, Lucas Stannett, a junior. He has had 62 goals. He led all of Section 5 this regular season in scoring, had 88 points overall with assists played into that. And alongside him, a couple sophomores. His little brother, Olin Stannett, had 35 goals himself. 13-3 in the regular season, and they had 2 program-defining wins against Victor, who 3 years ago was #1 in the country, and against a 2017 state champ in Syracuse powerhouse Christian Brothers Academy.
Great stuff. Good to see little brothers coming out of their big brothers' shadows. Good to see that. Matt, thanks for coming aboard. Happy to have you on the High School Notebook.
Thanks for having me on.
Coming up next, I've got this week's Making the Grade nominee, and later, it's Unified Basketball in Irondequoit, when the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College, continues. Welcome back, and thank you for watching the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College. Hit the ground running at alfredstate.edu. I'm Kyle O'Gara. Making the grade this week is Honeoye Falls senior Jake Fusare. Unlike most high school athletes, Jake was a member of 2 teams for 2 different schools. While Jake is a student at Honeoye Falls and plays on the varsity baseball team there, he also played varsity volleyball for Penfield High School after the 2 schools merged. Jake was a member of the Penfield volleyball squad that won the New York State Championship in 2017 and became a captain of the team in 2018. On top of his athletic accomplishments, Jake maintains a high honor roll average of 98.5. as a member of the National Honor Society. This week, Jake Fusare is making the grade. If you have a student in mind for our Making the Grade segment, we want your nominations. Send them into info@classywolf.com. And now here's the McArdle Section 5 Spotlight. Here's some of the athletes, teams, and coaches making news in this week's Section 5 Spotlight, brought to you by McArdles in Fairport. Come home to McArdles. Section 5 Golf crowned co-champions in Class A this season, with John Mittiga of Geneva and Phil Minahan of McQuaid each scoring a 71. In Class B, Danny Ames of Addison took the Section 5 title with a 73. In outdoor track, HFL's Cole Seward won the pentathlon event at the Monroe County Championships. Cole posted PRs in 4 of the 5 events for a career best day. And finally, McQuaid grad Greg Cullen is on a hot streak for the Rome Braves. The minor leaguer posted 12 hits over his last 6 games to raise his average to 273. Up next, smiling faces and a big crowd can only mean one thing. Unified Hoops is back, when the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College, continues.
Came now to Eichel. He floated one. Score!
Welcome back, and thank you for watching the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College. I'm Kyle O'Gara. This segment is brought to you by the Injury Free Coalition and our friends at Leo's Bakery and Deli.
Please remember to always wear your seatbelt in the front and back seats, and to focus only on driving when behind the wheel of a car. This message courtesy of the Injury Free Coalition for Kids Smart Teen Driving Program and our friends at Leo's Bakery and Deli.
Unified basketball is more than just a game, bringing together students, athletes, and communities, and forming friendships that last. Here's Dave Yates at the Irondequoit and Webster Schroeder game.
It seems like everything in sports these days is about statistics, analytics. It's all about the numbers. Maybe that's why unified basketball is such a relief. It's impossible to analyze joy.
Let's go! Eagles on 3. 1, 2, 3.
You can't put a value on happiness. And good luck trying to count the smiles.
Sonny, talk about how much fun you have playing basketball.
I like playing basketball. I love my teams.
What do you love so much about your team?
I love all of my teams.
How does it feel when you score a basket? What's it like?
I scored 400 points.
You scored 400 points in just today's game?
Yeah.
How did you guys do today?
I did good.
You did good?
Yeah.
How much fun is it to play?
I like to play. I love basketball.
What's not to love about a game that brings kids from so many different backgrounds and has them all connecting for something that is so rewarding? In a word,
I think it's very humbling for a lot of these kids to know that it's not about them. You know, this is about, really supporting our students with disabilities, and they play that role so well. I can't talk enough about how selfless our helpers are and our partners are. They come to practice and their sole motivation is, how am I going to make the team better? How am I going to, let these kids be a part of a varsity sport that in the past, they never would have had the opportunity to do that. So they make our job super easy. Coach Lancey and I really have to just go around and facilitate because they're such great kids.
It really humbles you. It shows you just how happy people can be, because in everyday life you have rough days, and then you come here and it just cheers you right up and you have an amazing time.
Megan's dad coaches the Irondequoit team, so he has a special perspective on the impact it has on the special needs players and the ones who are there to support them.
They're my family, and I look forward to being here every day with them, just being greeted with high fives and hugs, and the kids are looking forward to seeing you and having a good time together, and it's fantastic, really.
That fantastic feeling isn't just felt on the court, it carries over to the stands as well.
As a parent, how special is it for you to see Sonny out here?
My boy has Down syndrome. He's not going to be able to play football. He's not going to be able to play, basketball or wrestling. But this is great for him because he plays with his peers and he gets to intermix with all the other kids at the school. And everybody loves him, and he loves everybody.
Maybe one of the greatest ripples from these games is felt away from the gym by the rest of the students in the school, who have come to know and respect the players on the team.
Our kids look forward to every game that we have, and it's such a short season, so every game is a special game, and it's been great for our school community. We've had a lot of great support, so it's been a lot of fun.
It's really great to just see how happy they are, and they look forward to every single game. They come out here and they have so much fun. They don't care if they win, they lose. They get down sometimes, but then they get out and they dance and they have fun, and we run around and have fun and cheer each other on. It's just great to see their smiles.
And if the real purpose for high school sports is to teach life lessons, mission accomplished.
It's that sense of team more than you might get on another sport where you have your superstars. There's no superstars on this team. It's about being a team, winning or losing as a team, and understanding that, it's about playing the sport. It's not about whether you win or lose. And I think that's a really important lesson for them as they grow older. So.
From Irondequoit, this is Dave Yates for the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College.
We'd like to thank our sponsors, especially Alfred State College, for making the Sports Beat possible. We'd also like to thank the athletes, teams, and coaches in Section 5. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next week.